This is a demonstration of my 30 amp outdoor waterproof EVSE. This is housed in a polycase outdoor rated enclosure. It's running the OpenEVSE version 2 mainboard, LCD, and a kilowatt meter. This menu select will allow you to go through all the different selections. Right now I have this plugged in with an adapter. This is level 1 and level 2 auto selecting, so you can run it at 120 volts or 240 volts AC. It will go up to 30 amps, but per NEC rules should be run no higher than 80%, derated to 80% of that for anything over 3 hours. So in this case you should turn it down to 24 amps. The charging time difference between 24 amps and the 27.5 amps that a Nissan Leaf would actually draw is not that significant, so it's not that big a deal. So let's go into the menu. So the sleeping thing doesn't really do much. Press and hold. Here's the service level. This will allow you to automatically press and hold to go into it. It will automatically choose level 1 or level 2. You can force it to level 1 or level 2. And it's kind of for diagnostic purposes. You wouldn't really ever need to do that. So the plus symbol indicates what is currently selected. So we'll just press and hold and we'll reselect the same thing. The maximum current table has been edited. The OpenEVSE will support anything all the way up to 80 amps, but you have to have the hardware to support that. So I've edited the table so that it only has the amperage available. We're going to get out of this up to 30 amps. As you can see, it's a little easy to get ahead of yourself, and the display keeps washing out because my light overhead is really strong. Okay, so press and hold to go into max current. Currently set for 30 amps. So it rolls back to 6, 8, and I've edited it to make nice easy steps. So why would you want to go as high as 30 amps on only 120 volts? Because in RV parks there is commonly available 30 amp 120 volt only outlets, as well as their bigger cousin, the one we like, the NEMA 1450, which is 240 volts at 50 amps. And that's a nice big fat hookup. So in this case, let me show you how we'll just set this down to 24. Scroll through it, press and hold to make your selection. Plus means that's what you've picked, and it backs right out. The diode check, the vent required check, the ground check, and the GFI self-test all can be disabled. They're enabled to be on from the factory. You want to just leave those all to yes. That's just for troubleshooting, and you shouldn't have to do that. There's a date and time and delay timer, because this uses the same firmware that runs with the display. LCD displays that have a built-in real-time clock. This LCD doesn't, but the firmware has that in the menu, so that's why you see that. You can restart or simply exit. So it shows the EV electric vehicle is not connected. We're currently at level 1 and set at the 24 amps. Now, go up here. This is a new thing. This is the new style volt and current meter. Now, you probably look at this and say, well, that's really neat, except for I can't push the buttons. That's right, you can't, because they're behind the plastic. But you can still run it if you got a set of remote buttons down here, which is what I have installed. So we press up, which just does scroll to the right. I didn't bother doing down because that just scrolls to the left. That's kind of pointless. So here's the voltage reading, the current amperage being drawn by the vehicle's not plugged in, the kilowatt hours, and if I press and hold the set button for over 3 seconds, that does blinking, and then I tap OK to reset it. It holds its own memory. The current wattage being drawn, and counting time in minutes that your vehicle is plugged in. So press and hold for 3 seconds, starts blinking, press the OK button, and it resets it. And then we scroll back around to voltage. Down here, it will automatically start counting time anyways when the vehicle is plugged in. So the kilowatt hours is a really good way of telling how much power you've actually transferred into the vehicle, and you can multiply that by the price that you pay on your electric bill. In this case, in Las Vegas, we pay about 13 cents per kilowatt hour after taxes and everything. So you can see exactly how much it costs to fill said vehicle. And then the time, the run time is just redundant. Alright, that's the entire thing. Thanks.